to another week of Love and Action Daily Boost program. It's Dr. Flo, not telling you what I heard, what I know. I know that you're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're going to be loved and lovable for the rest of your life. We're still in Love for the Planet month. It is week 16. Week 16 is all about building a better tomorrow. And in the theme of this week, we're going to commit to tangible actions that create a positive, sustainable future for ourselves, for the community, and also for the earth. You know that we're still this month of April, or for the last 4 weeks, because we're about to change theme again. For the last 4 weeks, we've been talking about love for the planet as spring has come online. And of course, it's been wild. It's been wild, especially in my sinuses. We found some crud today, so hopefully the singing will clear, and I'll also drink more water. So for those of you who are struggling to be Claritin clear and just generally clear, our love and our hearts are with you, because it is rough around here. Some of you know, many years ago, I stopped taking antihistamines, and I went through about 3 to 4 months of full withdrawal from allergy medications, and I'm not looked back, but it just makes for an interesting time when it comes to speaking and crafting songs, which is what I do for a living. But that's cool. We love the earth, and the earth loves us. And of course, we're always making way for a bigger and brighter tomorrow. This week, the structure of our talks will be, as they always are, daily, either with myself or Tara, who I'm not allowed to introduce herself, but she will in a moment. This week, we're going to cover our chakra connections, our grounding practices, daily teachings, affirmations, and call to actions as it relates to building a better and brighter future. How are you building a bigger and brighter future, Tara?
By taking this picture of the baby in headphones. Okay, well, maybe we don't want it no more. We don't want it no more. We'll do it again later. Anyway, I'm Tara Priolo. I'm your resident Black, biracial, multi-passionate musician. I talk about the ish that nobody wants to talk about. And the question was, how am I making, what is the question? A better tomorrow? Yeah, I'm talking to you people. You're welcome. I'm also making it better by celebrating the national days of the year. And I'm going to read some of them to you. It is National Make Lunch Count Day. It is Animal Care and Control Appreciation Week. Global Days of Action on Military Spending. Good googly moogly, we could stand to not spend so much on our military, but let's for Deconstruction Junction. It's apparently Hate Week. I don't know what that means. It is National Dog Bite Prevention Week. TikTok keeps feeding me this lady that got bit by her own dog, and like it bit her nose off. Disgusting. Anyway, National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. National Student Employment. I don't like that. National Student Employment Week. It's Orthodox Holy Week. It's Pan American Week. It is Passion Week, because y'all know on 420, Jesus will rise again. Okay? He will rise again. Yes. One more time every year. That poor man's stuck in the loop. He is stuck in the loop. Okay. It is FND Awareness Day. It's International Plant Appreciation Day. I have some plants that y'all can actually see because I haven't got a background on. You see these are my plants that exist in my music room. They're beautiful. Okay. And, I think you made me big so that you all could see my plants. There we go. They're kind of blurred from the background. But I have an aloe vera plant, and back here is a Christmas cactus, and then this one is a jade plant. My jade plant is doing really well. She got repotted a couple weeks ago, and she's doing very well now. It is International Special Librarians Day. It is National Peach Cobbler Day. I love peach cobbler. Oh my God. It's National Scrabble Day. We have to play a game of Scrabble. It's National Silly Earring Day. I wear silly earrings every day. It is it really? It is. It's Palm Sunday. Happy Palm Sunday to all you who celebrate. Go get your palms, okay? It is Thomas Jefferson Day. Okay. It is Maya Summers' birthday. I don't know who that is. It's also, it's Thomas Jefferson Day because it is also his birthday. Happy birthday to the slave-owning gentleman who ran the United States for some number of years that I don't know. It is also Unfairly Prosecuted person's day. And I think this might be an opportunity to talk a little bit about Charles McNair. You guys can do some calling, you can do some emailing. Charles McNair has been in jail for 44 years on a sentence that should have carried 12 years. I think a maximum 12 years. But he is serving a life sentence plus 10 for literally no reason. So if you are interested in helping along with that, those links are at lovedandlovable.bio.link. Dr. Flo is
Thanks so much, Tara. Day one of the week is always about root chakra work. And so today we're going to talk about grounding and responsibility. Remember that you are the earth. You as a human being, you are part of the earth, and you can ground your future always in care and accountability. That is something that people really do enjoy about our network. We are all about song, smile, support, and shenanigans, but also we are a grounding space. We are a loving and caring space, and there's tons of accountability here for you, whether you want it or not. You're going to get held to a higher standard, and that standard is always that you are loved and lovable and reaching for your dreams and putting your time, talent, and treasure behind your dreams in all the best ways that you can. It's what we're here for. So as we go into this week, let's remember that we've got the root chakra to start on Sunday. Then we move up into our sacral chakra or sacral chakra, depending on how you pronounce it. Then we go into our solar plexus chakra, into our heart, into our throat, into our third eye, and then into our crown. We go 7 days a week with a different topic and different chakra of the day. And it helps us find center and stability in the energy of our lives. The root chakra, which is at the base of the spine, is all about your survival, your safety, and your belonging. And you'd be surprised how many people in the world do not feel like they belong to other people. We recognize profoundly in this community that we are all interconnected in a circle and a hoop that never ends.
In a circle, in a hoop that never ends.
Have you ever heard the wolf cry? And so, understanding that survival, understanding that safety and that belonging and how it connects into your grounded I am, I am a healer. I am a hopeful person. I am love. I am light. I'm joy. I am peace, and I am at peace. Just knowing what your I am statements are can contribute to stronger survival, greater inner and outer safety, and then also this belonging feeling. What do you feel, Priolo, right now people are trying to belong to more than ever before?
I think it's a hopeful wishing that people are seeking belonging to each other, and to the kind of universal connectedness. And I see people, occasionally point that out on the internet, and I'm kind of like, mayhaps. But I actually think people are mostly looking for belonging in themselves, like in a sustainable way, in a way to make their lives better, which I don't think is like the wrong thing to do. I think we have to start with ourselves before we can really build strong connections, even though that universal connectedness is always there, as we talk about on Saturdays each week. So yeah, I find that people seek belonging in a number of ways, or it looks a different way for different people, right? Certain people seek belonging in political parties, affinity groups, yada yada yada. But I think at the end of the day, a lot of people are seeking to understand and belong to themselves in a way that feels good to them, instead of constantly fighting themselves.
You know me, I want to belong to the truth. The truth. I'm heavy these days on just the facts, please. You
Mm-hmm.
can keep the feelings, you can keep the beliefs, you can keep the woo woo, you can keep all the habba babba, you can keep the, well, here's what I think, or if I had to guess, let's not guess. Let's keep it grounded in us belonging to the truth, a truth that will set us free. And I usually say that when I'm grumbling over the dishes, you guys. I'm mostly the truth is gonna set us free, because I miss my swankified life with a dishwasher, but that will return. And speaking of dishwashers, while we're using our dishwashers daily, let's not forget that they use water, and that we use water, and that the earth is our home. And how we treat it reflects how safe and grounded we truly feel. I think all the time about people who toss their trash out of the window of their car going down the highways if it's not someone else's issue to deal with. People who litter the earth usually have very emotionally littered lives. Trashy coexistences with the planet creates a trashy coexistence with ourselves. And so, anyway, I'm not here to make you feel bad about yourself. I'm here to call you into a higher standard and vibration of love. And Tara's going to come in the next few seconds and present you with today's grounding practice to help you
Yeah.
find your roots for the week. It's important
Yeah.
that we find them.
And Dr. Flo was talking about rising to like kind of that next level or that next whatever it is, that higher understanding, whatever. Um, One of the things I talk about in singing a lot in when I'm teaching singing lessons is the fact that we have to kind of go down in order to go up. We have to reach down into our bodies, into our hips, specifically when we're standing, and into our toes and into the ground in order to create high notes. And when we think about that, it's an equal and opposite reaction. So I want you to imagine that while we're doing this seated grounding visualization, which talks a lot about what is underneath of us, right? And what is supporting us. But you can go up, you can go down to go up, if that makes sense. So as you are seated, if you are comfortable and not in a car, please feel free to close your eyes. We will do a breathing exercise with this. I haven't done that for a couple days with y'all. So we'll do that. Imagine roots connecting you to the earth. Feel your body becoming one with the soil, supported and steady. Let's breathe in for 4 and out for 4 twice in a row. Here we go. Breathing in and out and in and out. Very nice. I think that's one of the reasons that I like gardening so much is because I get to be like one with the dirt. Like I literally just get to like sit and play in dirt and like feel it run through my fingers and then like put something in the ground and it magically grows. It's amazing. It's amazing. I just got scared because like something fell on my leg and I thought it was a spider. So if y'all saw that and you were paying attention, it wasn't a spider, y'all. I don't know what it was, but it scared me. Scare me.
Poppy Water caught a earful of sash from me earlier in the week when that spider crawled off the cabinet, up my hand and up my arm, was heading for my precious beard.
Absolutely not.
And I screamed like Little Miss Muffet, having sat on the wrong tuffet.
Absolutely not. Would not be happening. Now I'm checking the room for spideys. It's like,
So
are
funny.
there spideys
While
in
she
here?
checks for Charlotte and her web, I'll keep teaching by telling you that we build a better tomorrow by starting from the ground. What are some of the things that you could use to start from the ground? Soil health, food justice, and land restoration. All right. Tara talked about perhaps placing her tomatoes this year in a different location. You may want to consider, you farmers out there and those of you with green thumbs, you may want to consider putting your tomatoes in a different spot this year for soil health. You'd be able to consider advocating for surplus foods going into the mouths of those who cannot afford it, and other kinds of things. What say you about these
I think,
groundbreaking and ground shifting opportunities to find
yeah,
equilibrium with the earth?
I think it's really important to know like about where you live and how your food is grown. And I know we're in a globalized society and like half of our wheat comes from China and like da 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 da, and we export a whole bunch of stuff, and like there is a globalized sense to agriculture. However, like if I were living on a coast, like say if I were living in Maine, I would likely have much more fish than I did beef and chicken, because there's more access to fish. Now, I do eat fish here. However, I also am in the summers, I will often go fishing and like stock the freezers for the remainder of the year. And that's just like something we do in Minnesota. We have lake fish, but we don't have ocean fish, obviously. We have river fish as well. So that's like, and knowing the soil. So like one of the things about Minnesota is that our soil tends to be super sandy or has a lot of clay in it. And so you kind of have to counteract that. It determines the plants that you can grow. Obviously, our temperatures also determine that. But those things are important to know as we sort of seek to keep each other safe. I think Dr. Flo kind of jokes about this, but it is really true that like if a zombie apocalypse happened, if a nuclear bomb gets dropped on us, God forbid there's another terrorist attack, like all of these things, you want to know the person that knows how to grow food in whatever area you are. Like you want to be friends with the farmer, you want to be friends with the casual gardener, you want to be friends with the co-op, you want to be friends with these places so that you can have access to it should you need it. Um, I follow a couple people on TikTok that are very big on like they harvest from the forest and like the areas near them, and they harvest fungi and various things, various types of leaves and plants and stuff. But they always talk about this land restoration piece and not taking more than you need and making sure that you leave certain pods alone, right? So like you take some, but you always leave some, and that allows for the ecosystem, the natural ecosystem, to not be affected by what you're doing by taking some, right? There's also like the PNW, the Pacific Northwest. They have a lot of I see them on TikTok. This is the only reason I know about this. There's a lot of fisher people and like spear fishermen that dive and help to assist that ecosystem from becoming overgrown and becoming overpopulated. So that's kind of, these things. Sometimes up here, they will open certain seasons early, like they'll open fishing season early or they'll open deer season early, just in order to keep the populations from overpopulating and damaging themselves. So sometimes you're allowed to take more of certain fish out of the lakes up here versus other years. It just is it keeps the ecosystem running so that we don't run out of
How do they
those.
spread the word of which fish is okay to be harvested that day more than the others?
It's on the DNR, and when you get like a license to fish, which you do have to have in state lakes, um, they tell you that you can harvest fish up and like bass. There's like a stipulation that the bass has to be a certain length to a certain length, and you can only take those ones out. If you catch something else, you have to throw it back. If it's a large female, you want to throw that back. Not because it's not good eating, but because they could be with eggs, they could be potentially getting to eggs. And you see this a lot also with like lobster catching. Like, I don't know if y'all watch this on TikTok, but I'm fascinated because he also gets crabs and he takes the barnacles off the crabs. And I like love that dude. Like, I think he is so funny. And he saves a lot of lobsters and crabs. Okay. But like the lobsters get a little notch in their tails if they're females. And so you're not allowed to take those out of the ocean. You have to throw them back so that the population recycles itself. So they do bunches of fancy studies and then they popularize it throughout the state to tell us what we can take and what we can't take. Very interesting process, if you ask me.
Powerful, powerful stuff. We want to highlight today's simple acts like composting, reducing plastic, and also growing your own herbs and your vegetables. These acts can help you have a brighter tomorrow. Yeah, Tara.
Yeah, I just wanted to, and this is something that I haven't gotten to because I have a almost 1 year old. But I really would like to start my plants inside. This is something my dad does. It's something that my friend Clara does, where you take it from seedling to little plant inside. So you start the plants earlier than you would put them outside. And I just think that that's a great. It's like growing your own herbs. You can grow those in a windowsill. I would also tell you all to go follow. I think his name is Levert the Base Man. Lavar the Base Man. I don't remember his name. Anyway, I'll find it and I'll send it to the general chat on WhatsApp. He grows plants in 5-gallon buckets and like just lets things grow in his yard. And that's also a really interesting way to just like utilize what you have. I think a lot of people think gardening is expensive, and it can be expensive, right? It really can be expensive. But the fact that I still have zucchini in the freezer from last year that I could make into a number of things, I could make it into soup, bread, muffins, like, I can feed my family with the zucchini that's in the freezer, says to me that you can grow it any way that you want, right? And you can do it pretty cheaply. Like we buy plants every year, but it's usually under $100. And you can buy perennial plants that work in your area. Like there's just a lot of ways to make it sustainable and not expensive, including growing herbs in your windowsill. If you are lucky enough to have a windowsill, or even if you're homeless and you have a tent and you're able to kind of preserve that spot for you, you can put the plants out during the day and pull them in at night, et cetera, et cetera. So herbs are pretty easy and forgiving to grow. The affirmation, I love that. I love doing the affirmations. The affirmations of today. I am rooted in responsibility. I like the end of this one. You're gonna like the end of this one too. I protect what protects me. One more time. I am rooted in responsibility. First of all, this whole thing is an alliteration, in case anyone was wondering. I'm rooted in responsibility. I protect what protects me. And it's alluding to the earth, but we can apply that to people because people are just plants. Okay. I protect what protects me. If you don't protect me, I ain't going to protect you, girl. You know, that's it.
Everyone's protecting somebody, so we should be willing to put down our arms eventually so that everyone can be cared for. Everybody has a mama, everybody has a daddy, or some contributors to conception. And everyone wants to be cared for. And so, yes, continue to protect what protects you, with the understanding, like I sing sometimes, that no one is alone. No one is alone. Consider this week walking barefoot in grass and touching soil this week if you're a person like me who stays in the house and kind of likes to be away from all of the heavy hustle and bustle of the mix. Consider walking barefoot in grass this week, and also maybe choose one product that eliminates harm from the earth. It could be a reusable bag like we use at Aldi when we shop, or a metal bottle for your water. What are some of the products that you are using right now, Tara, that eliminate harm on the planet? And then I'll give you the last piece of chicken to close us out.
Yeah, I use this is kind of an interesting one, but we now are all on EcoSlay, which is a company that produces natural hair care, and they are in the recycling market. Every single package that they send us is recyclable, and we also get plastic reusable containers that are. Oh, sorry. I was trying to figure out what's going on out there. I saw the husband go with the bottle and then the baby following. I was like, what is happening out there? Um, so anyway, so that's a sustainable thing that I do. Lots of people do that with Lush too. There's several companies that like do sustainable packaging, and I do try to purchase sustainable packaging, as well as eliminating like I don't use body wash. I use bars of soap because that's less packaging around that. So those are some like easy ways to do that. And if you are going to use plastics, just try to reuse them. Like Dr. Flo and Poppy also have this, but I have two big things of oil, but I keep refilling the same oil container so that I'm not like throwing it out every 5 seconds, or even just reusing the plastic bags. Like I know we all have lots of plastic bags. How can you reuse them, right? Like one of the things I taught my husband was you don't need a new trash bag every week to bring home your dirty clothes. You can use the same one until it breaks, right? So those are some ways that I use that. Let us know in the comments wherever you are, if you're watching this on the replay, if you're watching with us right now, what you do in terms of sustainability, and maybe tell us a little bit about the protection, what you're protecting, and maybe what you're going to eliminate from your consumption. Because I think more than boycotts, I think if we take a closer look at our consumerism and our consumption and the ways in which we participate in it, which we have to participate in it, we might live happier and more rooted lives. So with that, from all of us here at Love and Action Network, at Tara Priolo Studio, at Andre and the Flow, at Poppywater33, Awesome Angie Enterprises and Novelties, Her Story True, Jimmy Jams, Loretta, The Fun Bunch, everybody and beyond, continue to be anti-racist, be safe, wear a mask, wash your hands. That one's from Angie. Wash your hands. Make good trouble. Do good work. I love y'all hardcore. You are loved and lovable. Tell 5 people today. Tell 5 people today. It's not hard. Tell 5 people today. Okay? Joy is our revolution. Step into it and belong to it. And we'll see you next time.